everybody. So, we're going to do the March reading, which I am in anticipation over. I don't want to say I'm excited because I do feel like it is going to be a very deep month, a very spiritual time, and a turning point in your journey from where you've come from. And I do feel like, especially until like June, July, that kind of time where the North Node goes into Aries, it is going to be what feels like representing what is coming towards us in the future. It is literally going to be the representation of this new revolution that is starting, where how things have been scripted, how things have flowed, how the world has been going is infinitely going to change. And it's really going to make the biggest impact on who you are choosing to show up as. And if in your life now, you have been showing up as your true self. And so over this last week, even because we haven't even started March, it is days away. Over this last week, there has been a real kind of nudge and need, where the energy is kind of calling you back within. And this may mean that people are going into silence, things might be coming to like a standstill, people might be going off grid. I feel like there's this real calling that's been put out in order for everyone to kind of come home to themselves in order to navigate what is coming their way. And I definitely feel like if you have issues with control, issues with surrendering, releasing, if you put a lot of emphasis on like stability and security external to you, if that's like your entire focus, then this energy is going to be very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable because it's kind of like the shake-up with Pisces. It's like it's all about releasing, letting go of control, being in the energy of like whatever happens happens. I'm just flowing with the energy. And on the opposite end of that, especially with Saturn going into Pisces, Saturn is all about like structure and discipline and like having that kind of teacher there that is pushing you to kind of do the work, but it's like also attached to wanting control, wanting to control everything, wanting to have these expectations. And so it's like finding this middle ground between both worlds in order to find your path. And so midway to end of March, we do have Pluto moving into Aquarius. And I think I've seen people talking about this as well, how it's going to be this quite dramatic, powerful energy. But I really feel like it's divine order coming into play. The last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, it was probably more than 200 years ago. So if you think about it, then it's like so much has kind of happened within that time. So many laws have changed, so much structure has been created and broken and rebuilt, and fine lines, and like even over the last 12 months, there's been significant changes in just the world we live in. And so I feel like a lot of us have been in an era of our life where a lot of our growth has been stunted. A lot of our souls have been held back, and it may have been extremely difficult for you to move forward or move on to better things or start new seasons or like elevate into your higher self. It's like it made it extremely difficult for you to expand and grow into your highest position, because it's like the world around you was like created in a way to kind of not allow you to be and shine as big as you needed to be. It was that mirror that was kind of dimming your light and stopping you from becoming your greatest. And I feel like that's changing now. It's like what was traditional worked for a certain time period for certain people. And now that things are really changing, even the energy, it's like it's going from traditional and conventional to now what is unconventional and very different. You know, those people that maybe feel like they've always been lost or they haven't really found their purpose or their place or know like what their calling is or really kind of gotten the results right. They're like they've figured things out. They're on this path, but it's like it hasn't really kind of given them like what they've been working for, what they've been wishing for. And so I feel like this is what that is. That's what this is coming in to create that balance where it's like now it is your turn, where your unique ideas, your gifts, your creativity, the things that really allow you to shine best are going to be amplified. It's almost like Spirit, God, the universe is giving you a platform now in order for you to finally shine the way that you have always been meant to. And for some of you guys, it might even be like, this is what I've been waiting for. Like this entire time, this is the moment that I have been working towards. Even if it's been like 5, 10, 15 years of you like just hustling and working and striving and doing your best, right? It's like unintentionally or unconsciously, you've been working towards this kind of outcome that is finally heading towards you. And so March is about seeking liberation through radically unconventional means, taking away the safety net and understanding that now that these layers are being stripped back, it's time for you to utilize the energy in a way that benefits you, benefits your higher self, benefits the people around you, but most importantly, is aligned with what your soul has been craving. Not just on the surface. It's not about, the money or the status or whatever comes with your dreams. It's like at my deepest core, at the deepest part of me, where am I being called to go? Because March is going to be opening this up for you. If you haven't yet been awakened, this is the season where it is going to happen. And for people who have specifically been maybe avoiding things, hiding themselves, not being their true self, not stepping or speaking their authentic truth, the energy here is a divine intervention to switch that up, to take them out of their zone, to have them own where they are, even if that means they need to step back from what they've created for themselves, even if that means I need to come home here in order for my reality to reflect who I am inside. And so I feel like, especially if things have been going really well for people and like the reality that you've created is amazing and beautiful and expansive, it's like if you were to look inside your heart, are you really happy? Are you really happy? Are you really content? Are you really at peace? Do you feel like there is something missing? So, big month ahead. The intentions that have been set are boiling, and you have to have confidence in your beliefs. You have to have confidence in your beliefs and your visions, and in this knowing that if I'm choosing this life, which I have chosen this path, if I'm choosing this, then I now need to sit in a place where my higher self already is. And I need to take the time to understand what that looks like for me. Because I'm going through a regeneration. I'm going through this new growth. And Spirit, God, the universe is giving me the strength to be able to do that. And so I really feel like a lot of you are really coming into your own. You're really coming into your own. there is this understanding where you do believe that your thoughts are creating your reality. You are a manifester that is drawing your dreams closer and closer and closer towards you. Your energy is heightening, and so is the world around you. It's like it's energy that you can feel through the screen. You are glowing, you are vibrating, and people are resonating with that. And so instead of looking outwardly for the answers this month, you're going to remember the original blueprint of your life, and you're going to make drastic changes in what you're pulling out of the pot, what you're pulling out of this boil up or this stew of like everything that you've put in there about your manifestations, your dreams, everything. You've put it all in. And now the universe is telling you, now pull it all out. What does it look like? So you need to have faith in yourself. You need to trust the process. You need to understand that you're right where you're supposed to be. Everything in your life is divinely, it's like it's an experience that needed to happen. And so a lot of the times, sometimes we can get triggered or we can put ourselves in this kind of victim mode, and it really kind of defeats the purpose of us really allowing our own soul and spirit to be found, to be enlightened, to find connection. It's like sometimes we're so focused on what has happened to us that we don't get to see what is trying to come in. It's like we push away the blessings that we think are maybe not for us, or we're not ready for it, or we're going to fuck it up, or we're going to self-sabotage it. This is the regeneration of your true self, where it gets to be your way. It gets to be your way. So you're transitioning. You are transitioning. We have the Six of Swords. I swear to God, I need to get a new camera because this is not it. So we have the Six of Swords. We have the Six of Swords, and this is the transition card. You are moving to calmer waters. You're going through a place of healing, progress, moving forward, overcoming the hardships, the struggles, also overcoming what's felt really unclear and uncertain. A lot of clarity of mind will be coming through this year, and it's not a time to run away from it. It's not a time to run away from your emotions, from things that are coming to you at face value. It's not a time to run away anymore. It's time for you to stand in your power, stand your ground, and push forward. Because when you do that, when you push forward, when you stand your ground, when you make those decisions about, I trust this, I understand that my actions will always have consequences no matter what I do. It's like if I'm true to myself, I cannot control the actions of other people and how they choose to take that. But if I know that this is divinely right for me, if this feels like the right decision for me, then I need to go through with it, because this is the journey that is taking me on. It is going to bring in better and more expansive opportunities. So some of you might be tapping into a little bit of energy that feels like feeling a little deflated, feeling a little bit drained, feeling a little bit frustrated or even shocked by the events that take place. Some of you guys might be experiencing situations where unexpectedly something closes, unexpectedly something ends, communication stops, something with someone else doesn't happen, something at work comes up, a lot of chaotic energy, a lot of drama. It's like I thought a lot of things are going to come in to trigger you back into how you used to deal with things. And I want to tell you now, things always always, always get worse before they get better. And let me reference this in a way where you may understand it a lot better. If you are going through a cycle in your life that has been about always learning things the hard way, dealing with toxic people, having to learn really hard experiences that you didn't want, going through a lot of abuse or toxic situations where you had to kind of question why you were going through it, because like these are the things that you didn't create or start. It was just things that you were around, right? If like you have been going through a season where you felt stunted and everything that you had to learn was through a lot of tears, a lot of anxiety, a lot of anguish, you have to also understand that when you make that energetic decision to move on from it, to let it go, to make peace, to move on, that cycle does not end there. You have caused, or not even caused, you have put a stop to what you have had to deal with, but in a way that is from a place of love. And in doing so, that causes a chain of events, a chain of reactions from people or things that might be involved in that, where how they choose to act or be or do is completely out of your control, because you've drawn a line in the sand where usually you would just let the ocean kind of wash over you. You just kind of allow yourself to be walked over. You would allow those experiences to just cover you because you wanted to make peace. You wanted to there to be happy ground. You didn't want to cause any chaos, any drama. And it's like you've drawn this line in the sand. You've made an energetic choice from yourself and you've slowly pulled yourself out of this situation. And so as that cycle comes to a close, it will continue to be in that same toxic manner until that door finally ends. And so until that happens, you will continue to have that energy come at you, even if you have made that energetic decision, right? Even if you have drawn that line in that sand to say, you know what, I deserve better. I don't need this anymore. You're still going to have to process those emotions of what that actually feels like to not have to do that anymore, to not have those people around. There's still going to be that energetic cleanse that is coming through to kind of release yourself fully from this experience. And that can take time. And so don't be too hard on yourself if you are going through that process, because as I said before, when you go through a transitional period of like ending something and stepping into a new beginning, there's always this kind of void where there's a little bit of stillness before you enter something else. There's a little bit of stillness, a little bit of a pause before that new door opens. And it's like allowing yourself to go through the motions of what that looks like for you, knowing in your heart that I've made the decision, I've taken the actions, it's been right for me. I cannot control anything outside of myself. And so this is where your integrity comes in, right? It's like, I've done what's best for me. I'm moving on. I'm choosing to go this way. And I'm also acknowledging and accepting whatever comes from that. So big energy, big, big energy. We have moving on. We have Two of Swords energy. Yeah. Yeah. So Eight of Cups is the moving on. It's the letting go. It's the looking for truth. It's also the self-discovery card. So what you've been so focused on, see all of these, like, what do you even call those? All those cups. All of these cups here, and him kind of walking away towards the sun in the back. It's like what was right in front of him actually wasn't for him. And so in turn, he's choosing himself. He's done some self-reflecting and he's walking away. He's walking away on his own path to create his own level of happiness. And so for those of you that have Four Swords energy, those of you who either been sitting on the fence, feeling like you're at a crossroad, feeling like there's a decision that needs to be made, feeling torn between two things, this is the month where a lot of this is going to be cleared up. And in that, you're going to have to be front and center. When it shows up for you, when that certainty, those answers come through, you're going to have to be right in front of that door, right in front of that mirror, owning up to it, and confronting what's right in front of you in order to open that new beginning, right? In order to open that new door. And this would come through this has come through in a dream, this has come through in your ancestors, but either you're being called to go higher, you're being called to rise up. And spirit will put blocks in your life in order to make sure that you take that moment to do that. So prioritize Pisces season, water, being around water, being in water, very therapeutic, being out in nature, taking time to create stillness in your life, reflecting on every bit of your life, moving forward. And if that actually resonates with you anymore, if it doesn't, and you've come to some sort of conclusion inside that it's like, I don't really like this here, I don't want to be here, but it's like I have to be. As soon as that comes up, it's like you've already kind of made a decision about something. And especially if it's like in a career aspect, right? If it's like, I'm only doing this because I need to make money to pay bills. I feel like there is a real change in the energy when it comes to creating abundance and money. And it's almost like if you are in that place where it's like, I don't like this anymore, I don't want to do this, this doesn't make me happy, it's like, I'm just doing this for the money, you may find that you'll get restrictions in money because you're in a place that does not align with your soul. It's not something you're passionate about, not something you're doing. It's something you should do. Well, it's something that you have to do, not should do. And so that's where the bricks start to fall. It's like when you start having more of these things on your to-do list or your soul's list, where it's like, I have to do this. Because I don't have anything else. It's like, this is my safety net. Spirit will take away that safety net in order for you to step into the awareness of, okay, I need to think differently now. I need to think differently about this. I need to do things differently. And sometimes we don't do that unless there is a block, unless there is something that's being restricted, unless we're put in a place where we are extremely out of our comfort zone. That is the only time that we'll go, okay, fuck, something needs to change here, something needs to go. And so I do feel like it's a time of rest and reflection, especially moving into March, because the rest and reflection is going to give you the clarity that you've actually been seeking. So if a lot of you guys have been feeling like fearful or a little bit stressed, a little bit anxious about the future, now is a time to be finding your own sanctuary within, to be meditating and doing what you can to kind of regroup and plan for what's coming. Plan for what's coming. This is the foresight of what's going to be opening up in your life. And so this is a time to be planning ahead, to be getting really deep into, this is what I want, this is what I'm opening myself up to. Do I actually have the room for it in my life? If I don't, what do I need to do? Because Spirit's going to be giving you the insight, right? Especially with that card here, which is Three of Wands. This is about traveling. This is about movement, progression forward. But Three of Wands is connected to the third eye chakra. And so you're going to be moving very differently. What once worked before is not going to work now. How you did things before is not going to work now. I'm looking at this in a way where if you've been in a place of struggle for a long time and things have felt really hard, you're moving into a season where things get to be really easy because you're actually intuitively using the gifts that are now going to work for you about how to change your life and elevate yourself into the dreams that have been there for years, dreams that have been there for years. And so you're going to be collecting. You're going to be collecting on your manifestations. You're going to be collecting on your hard work. I do feel like this is going to be in a way where you almost feel like you're going to be able to indulge in things that you probably couldn't before previously. You're going to be in such an abundant state that there is going to be room for you to now actually take action on what you've kind of been asking the universe for, when it comes to your praise, especially if you're someone that's like, universe, if I had this amount of money, I could do this, this, and this. If I had this, I could do that, that, and that. But I feel like a lot of you guys had to come to a place where you weren't doing it for anyone else. You had to come to a place where you understood that I need to do it for me first. It's all well and good to have the best intentions to help other people, but until you can put your own mask on and build something for yourself first, you're always going to be chasing a dream that is purely centered around validation in order to please and help other people, right? If you're coming truly from a place of I'm following my soul's purpose, it's not about any of those external things anymore. And I feel like for some of us, we've really lost ourselves in this path where we've put things at the top of our priority list, completely forgetting why we're doing it in the first place, completely forgetting ourselves in this kind of journey that we've undertaken. And so now you get to collect. Now this is your moment to collect and to have wealth and to have freedom and to thrive, to fully thrive. And so we have Ace of Cups at the bottom, which is the new beginning. This is new beginning. This is the universe giving you an infinite, like a constant, a consistent blessing in your life that continues to pour. It continues to show up because you have continued to show up. You have continued to pour and pour and pour, even at times when your cup was completely empty. This is, holy shit. You have the Wheel of Fortune at the back. This is your lucky break. This is your lucky chance. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Nine of Cups. Six of Swords coming out again. Very lucky energy. Very lucky energy. Fulfillment, yeah, again, big transitional time. Big transitional time. Take it slow. There's no rush, okay? There is no rush to this. Spirit wants you to slow down, and Spirit wants you to slow down in order for you to have the awareness that beyond everything that I've been doing, if I can just slow down for a minute, I'll actually understand that all I really have is time. All I really have in this moment is right now. And so if I don't like my current reality, if there's something here that doesn't work, I have the power now to change it. And I think I want you guys most to realize is like this energy that we're moving into is going to actually propel you forward in ways that it hasn't before. Because a lot of you guys have been pushing and pushing and pushing and just showing up. And sometimes it hasn't really given you back what you've kind of been working towards. The level of output that you've put in hasn't been reflected back. And either way, you've kind of just continued to show up because that's just the kind of person you are. That's what you've done and what you've needed to do. And so I feel like this time around, this space that we're entering into is very creative, expressive energy where it's like Spirit is putting a highlight on this change. Okay, because the old way of doing things did not benefit you. The old way of doing things did not help you. It did not push you. It did not help you achieve your dreams, your goals. It really did. It honestly hindered you in the worst way. Instead of allowing yourself to thrive, it made things extremely difficult to move forward. And it may have felt like you were consistently learning lessons and never actually getting to reap any of the work that you've put in. And so sit in the energy of like, I trust the process. And I know it'll be my time soon, because this energy coming out is like, this really is your time. Okay. This is standing up for your beliefs. This is continuing to challenge the status quo. This is continuing to rebel against everyone and everything that says you can't do something that you know in your heart you're meant to. And this is even like shutting down your own self-sabotaging beliefs or tendencies around how you think you're good enough, or if you think you're good enough, or if you think you're going to make it or it's going to happen eventually. You could have been the person that's been slaving away on a business for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's never, it's never happened. But it's like you had this belief and nobody else did. And that's what this is coming to. That is what this is coming to. This is like the spiritual stamina that has taken you from where you started into the person that you aren't even them yet. It's like this taking you from the person that you once were into the person that you are, that is about to step up to the podium to collect their reward and allow others to recognize you for who you actually are now. Who you actually are now. A fighter, a warrior, someone who had to be strong to survive. A person who had to be strong and to hold your own to survive what you needed to overcome. Survive what you needed to overcome. Have the resilience to overcome what was in front of you. Have the resilience to live out other people's karma, past life karma, and learning what it means to be in a place of lack and truly appreciating the world that you created because you thought that was it. A lot of you guys was like, this is it. You've thought this was it. This is the best that I can get. This is the best that I can do. You've become content with it, even though your soul is like crying out. Crying out. So a lot of you guys are going to be releasing that this month. You're going to be releasing that mindset. It's going to go. A lot of you are going to be releasing that, feeling trapped, feeling restricted, feeling paralyzed by fear, the pressure, the silence. You're going to be releasing all of this. The restriction is leaving you, and you're going to make a break for it. You are going to make a break for it. You are escaping. You're escaping the place you didn't think you ever needed to escape from. And instead of running away to avoid it, you had to walk through it to find yourself again. So Leo energy coming through here, Six of Wands energy coming through here. Divinely blessed by the universe. Divinely blessed by the universe. You hold infinite power and honor within you. And as much as your spirit guides didn't want you to have to learn the lessons that you had to learn, it was a necessary part of the process. You had to be the one. Those are the words I'm getting. You had to be the one to do it because nobody else would. Nobody else can. And the way that I'm seeing it is like sitting at like, I don't know what you call it, but it's like the knight's table, sitting at the knight's table before you came into this life. All of these spirits were around that were linked to your ancestral lineage. And it's like you put your hand up. You put your hand up to hold the flame for what you were about to break. You held the flame. You volunteered to be the person that was going to break the pattern and the cycle that your own generation, your own ancestors had been a part of for generations. So yes, you are chosen. You are chosen. And everything that you require will come to you. will come to you. So, temperance, death, judgment, high priestess. This is powerful energy that's coming in for you guys. High priestess energy. The high priestess to me is like, you already know. You already know this. The high priestess to me is like, spirit is showing up to kind of look at you like, you've always known this. You've always known there's been something about you. You've always known that you've had a gift. What are you waiting for now? You've always known it's time to embrace it. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. Does not matter what it even looks like. Your dreams are coming towards you because you're now open to it. You've opened yourself up to it. You are now honoring your spiritual self. And now your mind, your 3D, is now merging itself with where your spiritual body already is, has always been. You know, your spiritual body, your higher self is a very powerful person that holds a lot of honor. Okay, the person that you are is very blessed, but you couldn't see that. The journey that you've been on, it's almost like they put you at the bottom in order for you to work your way up to the top, to be able to help people in the truest light because you've done it and you've been there. So judgment card coming in is the balance. There's balance coming in between your 3D and your 5D. Libra energy as well, 222. I've been seeing 222 a lot recently. So things are moving. Temperance card coming out as well. This is about exploration, exploring the parts of yourself, stepping into this energy. No matter how triggering or how uncomfortable or how dark or light it is, it's like taking the energy and utilizing it to your own advantage, utilizing it in a way where it's like, okay, this feels really difficult, but instead of going there, I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to put it into my body, I'm going to allow that to flow through me, and I'm going to create the change. I'm going to create the peace. I'm going to be the difference because I've found serenity within myself. So spiritual transformations are definitely under the way. Surrender to it. If I'm honest, surrender as much as you fucking possibly can. Because that's what's gonna lead you out of this. Because that's gonna lead you to your next step, your next level. That is what's leading you to your next level. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more cards, and then I think I might do a twin flame one after this because I feel like that's necessary too. Okay, so we have March, we have March, and we have the firecracker. So Spirit wants us to be excited about March. Bottom of the deck, we have the Bull, which is about not backing down from opposition, not backing down from what's hard, from what's uncomfortable, showing strength and fortitude. Like you've made it through more difficult situations than you've experienced now. You have made it through a lot of the hard things. You've had to go through a lot to get to the place that you're here in now. Remember that. Remember how far you have come. Remember how far you have come. And then we have the crib behind that, which is the birth of something new, which it is. It's the next revolution that is being created, that is providing you with the abundance that you need. Let's get that spirit. Here it is. Yeah. Abundance that you need down the path that you've undertaken. Okay, one more here. Career. Yeah. A lot of your careers are going to be changing, taking off. We have needle, We also have, and this fell to the floor. Usually, when cards fall to the floor, I usually see that as our foundation. Our foundation, our core beliefs. So, there could be things around your values, what you value, as comfort, as home, as family, the way you see things is going to be changing. Um, Specifically as well in relationships, I want to say there's going to be a specific dynamic change to the way that you see relationships, both friendships and romantic, platonic and romantic. There's going to be a view change, a shift in perspective about how you see things moving forward. We have a needle and a thread, so wishes are being granted. News that you've been waiting for is going to be coming through. Yeah, celebration energy coming. Yeah, handshake, which is about faded experiences. Yeah, faded experiences, meeting your soul tribe. You're going to be meeting your soul tribe. Soul tribe, I've got December and November, which is Capricorn, Sagittarius. Yeah, there's going to be some new people entering your world. New people is entering your world, because you're embarking on some changes. You're embarking on a transformation, actually. Changes, transformation, it's all the same. But you're breaking ground against something. It's almost like you guys have been stuck on an island for fucking years, forever, and you finally, there's a boat in front of it, you're getting on it and you're sailing away. You're sailing away. Beyond that, anything is possible. That's what the universe is saying. Anything is possible. And it's up to you. So this is some really good energy here. A lot is coming towards us. I urge you to have tunnel vision when it comes to your goals, because as we exit, or even before we enter this new expansive beginning, the devil will be on your fucking shoulder, screaming at all of the ways that you shouldn't do something or that you're not good enough. It will be there every step of the way to convince you that you are not made for something, that you are not worthy or deserving or valued or appreciated or needed. It will be there every step of the way until you open that door. And what I will say is that as a person that has been blessed, that exists in this world, nothing can stop you from the divine blessings and your purpose in life. Nothing. Not the devil, not people, not even spirit. It's like when you have a mission, that is your mission, that is for you, and nothing can stop that. So it is time to show up for yourself. So I'm excited. But Patreon readings are going to go out soon. This has been a big reading. So breathe, take moments for yourself this month, and know that changes are ahead.